It's about that time of day again here, boys and girls. Welcome back to your nightly newsletter. My name is Joseph James. Today is August 4th, 2014. Boy, we are cruising through the summertime. Parents out there, are you getting those back to school ads yet? Yeah, I know. Here in Los Angeles, we only got about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks here until the kiddos go back to school here. I can't believe that, boy, how fast did that summer fly by? It flew by because last week we had some incredible price action. Our newsletter just killed it last week. Very, very successful newsletter last week. Had 3 consecutive days last week of over 100 tick moves that we called the day before on crude oil. Everything moving lower. We still have a very significant short bias in the market right now. But before I jump into it here for your nightly newsletter, we've got 3 important things to accomplish today. Very, very important. 3 things. First, we'll take a look at what happened today. Second, we'll take out the calendar and be ready for tomorrow's schedule. And third, we'll be opening up the charts, getting ready for whether or not markets go higher, go lower, or go sideways. We have been on fire this summer. Lots of profitable trade calls on our nightly newsletter, and there is no reason to think it's going to slow down anytime soon. So buckle those seatbelts, helmets on, mouth guards in, make sure we stretch, proper hydration, and let's rock and roll. Head on over here to sidewaysmarkets.com. If you're not watching the video on our blog right now, if you're watching this video on our YouTube page right now, you got to get over to sidewaysmarkets.com. The link will be right below the video on the YouTube page. There are 3 reasons why I want you guys to head on over to Sideways Markets. Reason number 1, in addition to the charts that I go over tonight, I'm posting for you some bonus charts below the video tonight. So if you want to get a look at the bonus charts, and the bonus charts are just all of my anchor charts zoomed all the way out, so you can see where I find all the trend lines, where I find all the channels, where I'm drawing all of my levels of support and resistance from. All right, so all the charts I'm showing you this evening, as well as about a dozen more bonus charts, are available for you in that download. Go right below the video here, download a copy of those over at slideshare.net. Second thing here, upper left-hand corner, I've got a free pass for you guys. This is going to be your opportunity to see how we trade in our trade room every day. Right? Many of you have asked me, Joe, you can see how well this stuff works off the newsletter, but how are we actually entering, exiting? How are we getting into these trades? Well, that's exactly why I've got a free pass here for you guys. So check that out. Invite to our trade room later on this week. And last but not least, all I need is your name and your email address. It's a nice little color there, a little purple-pink mix there. Nice little color there for you. We've got a newsletter mailing list. If you want to always be on the newsletter, that means no more hanging out on the YouTube page, wondering when it will be published. You can always kick back, relax, and I'll send you an email once we have that newsletter published every evening. So 3 things here over at Sideways Markets. 1, download today's charts, including a dozen or so bonus charts. Also, we have the free pass for you guys today. That free pass will send you an invite to our trade room later on this week. And, of course, make sure you join our nightly newsletter right above my ugly mug. And that way you've always got the newsletter email going out to you every evening before 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Alrighty? Today was Reaction Monday, the Monday after Friday's non-farm payrolls. We were expecting quite a bit of fireworks today, but I'll tell you, it was a little bit of a sleeper. We made some really good money in the room today, but it was a little bit slow out there. I was expecting to see a little bit more pep in the step from markets like crude, gold, Russell, and the others, right? But, you know, summertime Mondays, well, let's talk about it. What was today? Today was a Monday of the second week of the month of August. Now, this is a little exercise we go through every morning in our trade room for our morning routine. And we think, okay, what is a Monday? Well, usually a Monday is going to be a bit of a slow start, right? Kind of the opposite of a Friday. Fridays are an early start and a quick finish. Mondays are going to be a late start and a late finish, right? So it's a little bit like the opposite of a Friday. We also know that the second week of the month the second Monday of the month, or the Monday after non-farm payrolls, is a little scenario we call Reaction Monday, right? That's where, remember, a lot of professional traders, they don't even trade non-farm Friday, right? A lot of professionals, they shy away from non-farm payroll Friday. I personally don't, but a lot of traders do. Kind of like how traders would shy away from trading FOMC. I personally have no problem trading FOMC, but I can see why people would just kind of stay away from it the entire day because they weren't comfortable trading it, all right? I think it's a little bit overkill, but we know today, the Monday after non-farm payrolls, what are we expecting? We're expecting that over the weekend, all the bean counters, all the analysts, they were working with the owners of those trading firms, putting together some recommendations for the following week. Monday morning, traders come in, they hit their desks, the recs, right, the recommendations are on their desks, and they'll go in and execute those recs. So we expected today traders to be getting back to their desk, maybe a little bit later than normal, right, trying to get the salt water out of their ear from being at the beach all weekend, right? And of course, we were expecting a little bit more of the reaction today. Didn't get it. Well, this might give us a reason why. And this is going to be a definitely underlying tone here this week. The second week of the month of August. Now, this throws a completely different wrench into the mix, right? Because, okay, a Monday is going to be a little bit of a slow start, but it should be a great finish. And we got that today in the Russell, a nice reversal off those lows. The second week of the month says it's usually going to be the reaction week to non-farm payrolls. There's not a lot of news in the calendar this week. It's a little bit of a dead week because we're expecting the reaction from non-farm payrolls. But then we have this month of August. The month of August is a summer month, all right? Now, I'm not going to go down that road that you've all heard before. Woe is me, the summertime doldrums. We can't make money, blah, 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 blah. Sounds like some excuses to me, and I don't do excuses. All right, I want solutions. The reality is the month of August is going to be inconsistent with volume as we go into the end of the month. Right now, shouldn't be that big of a deal. Today it definitely was. Summer Mondays are no joke, just like summer Fridays. All right, want to get out of the office early on a Friday? Well, you're coming in late on a Monday. It's the way it works in the summertime. One day when you're a very successful trader, all right, like many of the students in our trade room, you'll take Fridays and Mondays off too in the summertime. Trust me, you will. While you're building your career, though, we got to go to work. All right, so summertime Monday, month of August. Now here in Los Angeles, I think I read a sign saying August 25th or something like that. August 23rd was when the kids are going back to school. Last time I checked, dot the I, cross the T, it's the 25th. We got 3 weeks left, right? So 3 weeks left. So what that means is you're going to have parents piling those kiddos in the station wagon, loading up the caravan and going on vacation. This is that month where if you didn't go on vacation in July, you're probably going to be getting out of the way here in the month of August. And you got to remember, all of our good friends in Europe, God bless your souls, guys, living without air conditioning out there. Most of the buildings in Europe don't have AC. I know for all the kids in Generation Next, right, and everywhere else in the world, what? No air conditioning? No HVAC? What do you mean? What's next? No iPads, right? Yeah. Well, there's no air conditioning in most of the buildings in Europe. So, of course, it is customary that self-fulfilling prophecy kicks in. People go on vacation in the month of August because it's too damn hot. As traders know that, traders in the U.S. go on vacation. Well, if it's good enough for Europe, it's good enough for the U.S. too, right? And again, around we go. So that self-fulfilling prophecy kicks in here as we get into that second, third, and final week of the month of August. Don't even get me started on the doldrums yet. We shouldn't be seeing that just yet, but today was definitely a lower volume day as far as I'm concerned. Officially, though, it was only about 2% lower volume, so it wasn't that bad, but it definitely felt like watching paint dry for some periods today. Got to get around it. Simply stay patient, right? Stay patient. As I always remind our traders in the room, we have a very unique job as traders because we get paid to wait. I always equate it to a photographer. Imagine yourself, you're a National Geographic photographer. You're getting paid to stalk a wild wildebeest, the rarest wildebeest, the albino archback wildebeest. I don't even know that exists, right? So you have to wait there sometimes, days on end. But if you wait patiently, you get that snapshot, right? You get that picture of that rare albino wildebeest. I'm going off track here, right? What's going to happen? You're going to get paid. So think of yourself as a photographer, right? Or think of yourself as somebody who gets paid or incentivized to stay patient. So stay patient this week, stay patient this month, because there is plenty of opportunity to make money. All right, we're coming off big winning trades last week, second week of the month, little bit of an empty news calendar here today. That means, of course, this week, that means the geopolitical stuff. We've had Ebola sneak into the headlines recently. I'll tell you right now, something is seriously wrong if you're coming down with a case of the Ebola right now. All right, maybe it's time to rethink your vacation plans. What's wrong with New Jersey, right? San Francisco. Not much Ebola there. Kind of seems kind of ridiculous, doesn't it? I'll tell you though, my heart really goes out for the guy who's suffering, the doctor, right? Who's suffering from Ebola. It was all over the news this weekend. I mean, what a saint, right? I mean, Mother Teresa. Then you got this guy, the Ebola doctor. I mean, Jiminy Crickets, jeez. I'll tell you, that's a pretty, saint would be the word, I guess you would describe on that. We still haven't heard anything about these passenger airlines, right? I mean, just horrible. It's absolutely horrible that the shift went all the way to Gaza. We've got Ebola. We've got this issue with Ukraine. Just, it's all continuing here to kind of run together right now. And again, expecting a light week here without much news. So all eyes will be on those geopolitical news here. All right, so now you know what happened today. A little bit low volume, Summer Monday, right? Reaction Monday, et cetera, et cetera. Let's jump right in. I get the mini Russell here for you guys today. My daily chart, and I thought I would start tonight here with just a look at this view here, right? Now, it's easy to see this bullish market, this bull market has been running here, right, for almost 2 years now. Remember, we are 08, 04, 14. Only 90 more days, and now this bull market's been going for a full 2 years now. Remember, bull markets will average 5, 8, 10, 12 years sometimes. Okay, and we're not anywhere near where we could be here. We've been hovering around this big round number, as you can see, trading sideways. Let's zoom in, and remember, there are a bunch of bonus charts I've given you guys with different looks at these daily charts. You'd be amazed at some of the levels we found here, just kind of digging under the surface here this week. Looking at this daily chart, though, in the Russell, boy, I'll tell you, we called this a mile away. If you're with me last week, on my anchor charts, I called a short on the Russell, and we used 11.033 as the target. Guys, this stuff works so well. It's been working like this for years and years and years. I'm not sure what you're waiting on, right? What are you waiting for? Come out and join me in the trade room, and let's make some money together, right? This is not going to stop working. By the way, this is supposed to be the most difficult time of the year. Yeah, right? So if it's working this well in the so-called summer slowdown, I can't wait to show off how well we're doing this fall. My favorite time of the year, right? The weather turns, right? You get the leaves that change color. It's so nostalgic, right? Football's on television, of course, American football, of course, and the markets just heat up. We get bigger ranges, September, October, November, December. I can't wait, and so should you. You should be excited too. So we tumbled all the way down. We're below the key moving averages here, but as you can see, though, it's starting to look a little wedgy here, right? We got some consolidation here, so we got some support. I can definitely see, though, my trend is down. I'm below all the key moving averages, and that's really the most important thing right now, because I'm going to zoom in on a much faster time frame now and start looking for some areas where we can now look to get short. Now, the way that I do it is I like to make it mechanical. All right, in my trading, I'm a mechanical pattern-based trader. That's great for you. It's great for me because it's good for you because I use patterns, I don't need a lot of what? Experience, right? By finding patterns, I don't need a lot of experience. So that's one of the benefits of being a student with me. We have the 3 keys to success: trend, setup, and trigger, right? Or entry pattern. First of all, members, what's my trend? Down. Why? Well, for the most part, we got red clouds, right? Now, lower lows, lower highs, right? Trend's down. What's my setup? Number 3, I'm sorry, no, step number 3. Boy, is it Monday already? Yeah, step number 2, right? Like I'm not a math teacher. So step number 2 now is find the setup. So we know what direction we're going in. Now find the setup. I have a setup here at 22.8. I got 26.2, 32.4, 39.3. Yeah, just a few options for setups right now. Then all I need now is, it looks like we are right there right now. Getting ready here now for an entry short for a trigger. Okay, so we look for the trend. Trend is down. Where's my setup? I've got a bunch of them overhead. You can see them marked up right there. Start with 22.8. Last thing, where's my trigger? The trigger is the only thing I don't give you guys here. Tomorrow morning, though, in my trade room, I'll give you those triggers in real time with exact entries and exits. So come out and see me. Trend is down. We are just about ready to trigger this short here on the Russell, but hold on one second. I've got one more chart here, and this is going to shake things up a little bit. You can see on the short-term anchor, it looks like, yes, that's a higher high, that's a higher high, that's a barely higher low. So we have just a little bit of bullishness here. Now, if you're a short-term buyer right now, you get a little bit of support right here, right? Members, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's called the reversal line, right? So a little bit of support there you could use, but you know me, I'm going to give you areas to buy here right now. You can even use this trend line, right, as a buy setup right now. But again, I think you're tripping over dollar bills to pick up nickels and dimes, right? I think trying to buy right now, unless something changes here overnight, right? And of course, I can't read the future. I just simply use what's happened in the past to tell me what is statistically reliable for the future. So of course, there could be some news that comes out, unexpected geopolitical announcements. Who the heck knows what politician may stick their foot in their mouth, right? So we don't quite know what tomorrow brings, but we do know that the trend is our friend. So what I'm looking for right now is I'm looking for selling opportunities at 23, 26.2. I've got 28.3. I've got 34.1. I got 39.3. So all of these levels you see marked up overhead. These are all going to be areas where I can sell short. Once again, don't forget, if you want real-time information, come out and see me in my trade room. We'll walk you right through the entire scenario, and I'll give you the exact entry price to look for. Okay? Now, we do have a chance to get short right now. So you get the green light right now, members, to get to selling short. Targets here below, 1113.2. Targets below, 1107.6. Targets below, 1103.4. Final target below, down around this, oh boy, 1100. Big round number. Ooh, baby. All right, now, remember, I got some bonus charts to share with you guys, so make sure you download today's charts. That way you've got all the bonus charts as well. You can see where these trend lines are coming from, right, and a lot more information in the bonus charts. All right, guys? So long-term trend, down. I want to be a seller. That means that right now in the Russell, I've got to be looking for that failure here and the short. Now, don't get me wrong. If we go lower, we may bounce off this a little bit here, right? But again, I'm still going to sell. I'm still looking short right now. I've got no reason to think long just yet. Until we get that 32 anchor to start looking a little bit more bullish, right? Then I can start to default to the upside again too, right? But right now in the Russell, all I can say is I'm still a bear, right? We're still a bear. Moving forward here. From the mighty mini Russell to this funny yellow metal they call gold futures. Now gold has finally grown a pulse. I'll tell you, maybe they finally listened to me down in the NYMEX, right? Gold finally grows a pulse. We got below the 1300. Finally, we got below the key moving averages, finally, right? I mean, literally, we had to talk some smack to this gold the last couple of weeks, right? We had to bully this gold a little bit, right? Talking to moving a little bit. It went about a month there where it really had no personality at all. Now we're getting a much better personality. We're clearly moving lower. The next level of support down below me here, 1265.8. Here on gold, directional bias is short. We're relatively near the middle of that wedge, the lower two-thirds of it, I guess you would say now, and our next support level is down here at 65.8. Moving forward here, though, Let's put together a plan for taking advantage of this selling opportunity. Now, this chart should look really familiar. Yeah, that 1301 to 1297, that was on last Thursday's newsletter. So these levels have not changed. We made a new lower low. We go up into that sell zone now, and now we're on the way down. Don't say I didn't warn you about this short. This short was called last Thursday. Okay, this is not a hindsight trade, all right? It's a hindsight trade right now, but you should already be in that short from last Thursday. All you gold traders out there, I warned you last Thursday, be ready for this short. And now we're getting exactly the same level that we talked about last Thursday, all right? Don't take my word for it. Go back to last Thursday's newsletter. It's on the blog. It's easy to find. Just keep scrolling down from this video, and you'll see it right to the next one we did. It's the most recent we did last week. Now, here is the problem. What's my trend? Trend is easy, right? Trend is down. Where's my setup? The setup was at 1297.8. Now, members, you know what I'm going to say, right? The further away from the setup that we go, what happens? What happens to the trade? The lower the percentage of the entry, right? So, I know my trend is down. I know my setup has already triggered. We got the lower low. We tested the setup. What are we waiting for? We gotta go now, right? This is urgent. So the ideal scenario was to sell right about there, right? Once it heads lower, wave pattern short. Lower low, wave short. And we get our targets down here, 1281, 1275.5, 1264.8, and of course we got that 62.9 hanging out down there, 56 just off the side. Okay, we got great targets below, but remember, we make our money where we buy, right? Or in this case, where we sell. Time is not on our side right now. We've got to find that entry here fast, all right? Because if we get down here, I don't want to be selling. I mean, I can still sell, but the odds of our success are so much higher up around that 1295, right? So giddy up. Let's get going on gold here. We've got some great spots to get short here if we don't keep going lower. And we get some great targets waiting for you here as we do go lower, all right? Don't say I didn't warn you here, guys. And remember, if you want real-time trade calls, what are you waiting for? Come out and join me in the trade room tomorrow. All right, so if you missed the initial entry again, there's that 1301.5. All right, I can go back and find the chart for you if you need it, but I think you guys can go back to my blog and you'll see for yourself. We called that trade last Thursday night. Okay, so price went lower, up into it, and now we're looking for a short. One more chance. One more chance. Listen up, guys. If you're a gold trader right now, this is really important. I've got 94 down to 92.7. That is really my last high percentage opportunity right now. If I get to 1284.7, you've missed it. All right? If I get down to 1284.7, right, for example, I do not want this. No. That's not what I want. What I want is I want this. Okay? If you're already in this trade already, hold that baby. Hold it. All right? Stay committed to your trade. If you're not in that trade yet, now you've got the plan, right? Now you've got the plan. You're looking for an entry here short soon. Because if we get to 1284.7, that's my target. 1281 even, target. 1274.5, 1267.9. Once I get lower lows here, then I have to wait for price to go all the way back up and then come back down, okay? So again, like I said, time is of the essence right now on the gold. If you want real-time information on trade calls on the gold, let me know tomorrow morning, all right? Come into my trade room tomorrow. Last but not least, we go from that funny yellow metal to the black gold, the Texas tea, the crude oil futures, right? We got crude, baby. On my daily chart of crude, once again, I told you we had a white hot week last week. I mean, I think I paid my bills for the next 2 years with last week's profits. Very, very active week last week. And this is the second chart in a row that we went literally to the tick on those trade calls, all right? To the tick, okay? The Russell, the same thing yesterday. Don't believe me. Go back and watch this. Go watch last week's newsletter. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not saying you coulda, shoulda, woulda. I'm saying go back and watch last Thursday's newsletter and then look what happened. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not going to waste my time and your time on this. I got a lot more important stuff to do. So we see crude is very similar to Russell. Lower lows, it pushed below the BMT, and we go right to that 97.12, right, to 94.90, right? How did I know that was going to happen? Of course I didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but I was ready for it, right? We were prepared for it if it did happen. That's what professional trading is all about. I come to the market every morning. I have no idea what door unlocks what treasure. I got to try them all, go with the trend, and do my best. Luckily, lately, our best has been better than most anybody else on the planet. It's been a great summer so far. Crude going lower, but naturally, when we get that big drop, we get profit taking, right? Buyers scoop up discounts. So I would not be surprised if we get up to that 99.50 area tomorrow before finally consolidating around 100. Tough to say right now. Remember, we get a lot of geopolitical stuff that's still lingering right now. But I'll tell you right now, though, there's no reason at all for me to stop thinking to sell short. Okay? Don't let the fear, don't let the uncertainty, don't let the fear of giving back the profit last week, right, get you off your game this week. What's my trend? 3 steps. What's my trend? Trend is down. You got it. Where's my setup? Where's my setup? Trigger zone, reversal line, no symmetry, trend line. There's that big round number of 100 right there. You can see it's within striking distance. Remember, guys, until I am below $95 a barrel, all right, until I'm below 95, I am always a whisper away from 100. Right? Putin takes his shirt off again. Yeah, we're going back to 100. That's the way it's going to go. And remember, this whole 100 deal here, that was the easy money we made last week. So don't be so worried about going back to 100. All right? Yeah, the soccer moms out there will pay some more, or soccer dads, right? I don't mean to insult the soccer moms out there. And by the way, being a mom or a dad is the most important job on the planet. Raising our youth, are you kidding me? The most difficult job in the world, the most important job in the world, right? Next up, you got teachers, right? You got firefighters, police officers, right? City, of course. I'll leave the feds out of this. You know what I'm talking about. I'm looking at you. I'm having fun with you guys. What's my trend? Trend is down. Where's my setups here? You got it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. The list goes on and on and on. Right now, I don't know which of these is going to be the one. I have no idea. I'd be lying to you right now if I said, oh, yeah, we're selling at 99.92, guaranteed. Stamp it, put it. No, not going to happen. All right. What I am going to do, though, is I am going to watch. And if price reacts to it, then I look for the trigger. You know, sometimes the market goes lower lows, goes in, and just collapses without no trigger. I'm not going to guess. I'm not going to chase after it. If you're a student with me in the trade room, right, you know I take a lot of pride in the fact that I don't chase the bus. I want to get on the bus at the bus stop. If I miss it, I wait for the next bus. It's worked for almost 15 years for me, and I can't wait to share the same technique of discipline and patience. We don't just trade to trade. If you were a real estate investor, you wouldn't just buy properties to buy properties. You wouldn't be doing it very long, right? You'd be broke. It doesn't matter what business you're in. If you were an attorney, you wouldn't just take every case. If you were a doctor, you wouldn't take every case. You got to be selective. We are too. Trend is down. Setups 98.47, 99.09, 99.26, 99.92, 137. These are all the areas here we have overhead. Now, I don't have the ability yet to give you guys many targets here. And the reason why is because we know we have that support down bottom at 97.12. 97.12 will definitely be, right, that target for you going lower. But once I know which of these areas is going to give us the reversal, then I'll be able to give you some targets going into tomorrow. So as of right now, I would not be surprised if this crude keeps pushing higher. But nonetheless, though, I'm going to continue to look for areas to sell short at any of these levels overhead. I would encourage you to come out, join me tomorrow in the trade room. That way I can walk you through what I'm seeing in real time. You want some more specifics? You got it. Here's one more chart here for us tonight. And don't forget, I've got all the bonus charts for you guys to download as well, right on the blog below today's video. Now, this is a very good example of a long-term trend down with a short-term trend up. Members, what do we talk about with this? This is that fish swimming upstream. Right? We talked about this morning. We said, okay, think about the fish swimming upstream. They've got a lot of hard work to do, and there's a grizzly bear waiting to eat them up. So as we're going higher here, I've given you guys some buy zones here, which you can buy. But again, you know what I'm going to tell you. Same thing I told you on the Russell. If you're aggressive and you want to be a buyer here, we got a buy zone here at 97.88. Another one here at 97.43. But again, be very careful on those buys. Go half size. Be very conservative with your profit targets. Just take your money quickly here. Okay? We are going to focus on the sell side until we have a technical reason to do so. This looks like, though, look at this. This is easy money here, right? Easy pickings, easy moves lower. Now what's going to happen is we're going to grind, right? We're going to grind. We're going to grind. We're going to grind. What I usually see is if the long-term trend is down, you'll see very easy and very comfortable price action going lower. But then sure enough, what happens is we start going sideways, we grind, right? And then once it starts going lower again, then we'll start to get some regular, rational price action. The reason why going higher is so much more difficult is because there's so many moving averages, Fibonacci retracements, extensions. There's so many trend lines here, right? There's all kinds of reasons why those buyers are going to have a difficult time there. It's easier money. It's easier on the emotions. It's easier on the commissions. It's easier overall to follow that long-term trend. But the problem is new traders forget about that one important word. It's a dirty four-letter word, right? I'll tell you, they should warn you about this in Day Trading for Dummies. W-A-I-T. Ugh, it gives me the bejeebies just saying it. You want me to wait? What? Like an hour? Two? Yeah, maybe. You might have to wait. Maybe 3. Ooh, I know, right? Pack a lunch. Get a good, comfortable seat. It's part of being a trader, okay? Yes, you may have to wait a little bit. Well, it's up to you, right? We're all adults. Most of us are adults. At least we think we are, right? So I always tell people, it's up to you. You can wait for the best trades. Your broker will hate you because you won't be charging all those commissions to your account, right? But you'll get easy winners. Or you can do what I used to do, which is why I'm a good teacher, guys, because I wrote the book on making mistakes, right? My autobiography one day will come out and call JJ Can't Trade, right? That's what my autobiography would say. I've made every mistake in the book. So right now, no reason to sell to buy long here yet, okay? Unless, of course, you can't stay patient. So stay patient right now for me. And don't forget, I got real-time updates. I got real-time trade alerts coming to you guys tomorrow morning. So give me a shout in the trade room tomorrow. As you can see, we're right inside the sell zone right now. So you get the green light right now to start selling short. By selling short, you got targets now. Target. All right? Let's do this, crude. I'll tell you, I am pumped up here for this week, and so should you. We have a relatively quiet news week ahead of us. All right, but it's going to be another big week. Something's going to come here. Something's going to come. Trust me. This has been too good of a summer. They're not going to take the week off now. As you can see here, though, now that I look at tomorrow, August 5th, I've got some news here overnight. I've got a big, huge block of European news, and then just a little bit of news in the U.S. tomorrow morning. All right, looking this closer now. We've got 9:35 and 9:45 tonight from China and Japan. Be aware we've got major news coming out of Asia starting at 9:30 p.m. tonight. We then go tomorrow morning. Our good friends in Australia, we've got the RBA announcement, right? Very similar to our FOMC announcement. Then we just get littered here with news. All Red Star news. 1:30 out of India, 3:50 out of France. Germany's at 3:55. I've got the EU at 4 o'clock. Great Britain at 4, right? 4:30, and then retail sales at 5 o'clock, right? I'm exhausted just thinking about that. A lot of news tomorrow, 1:30, 3:50, 3:55, 4 o'clock, 4:35. Guys, if you live in London or Asia, if you're in Europe or Asia, you better be ready for that news tomorrow morning. Now, for all the rest of us slackers here in the U.S., right, we, of course, wake up a little bit later. We're going to catch the tail end of that retail sales at 5 a.m., right? 7 a.m. is the kind of the unofficial beginning of the U.S. session, right? The London session will go from 3 a.m. until 7 a.m. And then, of course, 7 a.m. will be kind of the unofficial. 8 a.m. is pretty much kind of like the official start of the U.S. session. We got tiny same-store sales from Goldman Sachs. We've got the Gallup at 8:30, Redbook 8:55. These are all teeny tiny reports here. The meat and potatoes tomorrow morning in the U.S. session, though, will be at 10 a.m. We got factory orders, and we got ISM non-manufacturing index, and we got, of course, the labor cost index tomorrow night in New Zealand. So, once again, though, looking at this, there's not a lot of U.S. Red Star news right now. So remember, this week in the U.S. session, probably going to be dominated by the news headlines regarding geopolitical stuff. All right, so listen in for more information out of Middle East, right, Gaza, Ukraine, etc., etc., etc. All right, guys, be aware, all right, be aware. We talked about that already. If you need any more information, guys, any more information, don't forget to call me here in the office. I've got someone standing by 24/7. I promise you they'll speak English. All right, you'll go right to level 2 when you call our live support. I'm kidding me. That was a bad Dell technical service joke. Anyways, we got a free trial over here at SchoolOfTrade.com. Check out the free trial. You will not be disappointed. We got 3 levels of membership for you guys to check out. And again, you can call us here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We got someone standing by here to help you guys out. Have a great evening. Thank you so much for being a part of our newsletter tonight, boys and girls. Hope you had a great summer weekend. Hope you survived your first summer Monday of the month of August. And we'll see you guys tomorrow here for the 5th day of the 8th month. We'll see you tomorrow, boys and girls. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.